Hey travelers, I'm your name, and today we're tackling one of the worst-case travel scenarios, flight cancellations. You know that feeling, right? You're pumped for your trip, got your boarding pass ready, maybe even snagged a window seat. You're practically smelling the tropical cocktails or that fresh mountain air, then BAM! That dreaded word flashes across the departures board. Canceled. It's like a punch to the gut. Suddenly your well-laid plans are about as useful as a screen door on a submarine, but don't worry, I've got your back. We're gonna break down exactly what to do when your flight gets canceled, step by step. We'll turn that travel nightmare into a minor inconvenience, a little speed bump on the road to adventure, because we've all been there staring at the departure board thinking, is this a prank? Spoiler, it's not, so buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's turn this travel tragedy into a triumph. Alright, so your flight just got canceled. First things first, don't freak out. I know, it's easier said than done. Your mind is probably racing with visions of missed connections, lost hotel reservations, and that epic meltdown you're about to have in the middle of the terminal. But trust me, panicking isn't going to help anyone, least of all yourself. Take a deep breath, count to 10, maybe do a few jumping jacks to get the blood flowing, whatever it takes to regain your composure. Remember, you've got this. You're a traveler. And travelers are resourceful, adaptable, and most importantly, they don't let a little thing like a canceled flight ruin their day. Think of it this way. Every problem is an opportunity in disguise. Maybe this delay will lead you to an even better adventure, an unexpected detour you never saw coming. So take a beat, center yourself, and get ready to spring into action. Now that you've mastered your inner Zen master, it's time to move. Remember, speed is key when it comes to rebooking. The faster you act, the better your chances of snagging a decent seat on the next available flight. Think of it like a race against every other stranded passenger in the airport. You snooze, you lose, and nobody wants to be stuck at the airport longer than they have to. So while everyone else is busy queuing up at the customer service desk like a bunch of zombies, you're going to get a head start. Whip out your phone, it's about to become your best friend. While those poor souls are stuck in line, you're going to call the airline's customer service hotline. And here's a pro tip. Sometimes, the airline's social media DMs are even faster than the hotline. Seriously, those social media managers are like ninjas when it comes to responding to messages. Slide into their DMs with your flight details and a polite plea for help, and you might be surprised at how quickly they can work their magic. Alright, so you've got your phone in hand and you're ready to dial. First stop, the airline's customer service hotline. Now, I know what you're thinking. Casey, those hotlines are a nightmare. Endless hold music, robotic voices, and agents who sound like they're trapped in a broom closet. And yeah, sometimes it feels that way. But trust me, it's worth braving the phone tree from hell to get yourself rebooked. Be persistent, be polite, even when you want to scream. And most importantly, be clear about what you want. If the hotline is proving to be more trouble than it's worth, or you're just not in the mood to listen to Kenny G on repeat, it's time to unleash the power of social media. Seriously, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, these platforms can be your secret weapon when it comes to dealing with flight cancellations. Airlines know that bad press travels faster than a supersonic jet, so they're usually pretty quick to respond to complaints and requests on social media. Craft a short, to-the-point message explaining your situation and what you need. Be polite, be professional, and for the love of all that is holy, don't be that person who resorts to public shaming and name-calling. While you're waiting for a response, don't just sit there twiddling your thumbs. Remember, we're playing a game of speed and efficiency here. So while your phone is working its magic with the airline, head over to the customer service desk and get in line anyway. This way you're covering all your bases. If the online team comes through with a rebooking first, awesome. You can just slip out of line and go grab yourself a celebratory Cinnabon. But if the line moves faster, you're not stuck waiting for a social media miracle. Alright people, listen up because this is crucial. Especially if you're flying in or out of the EU. You know how airlines love to throw around those pesky little words, extraordinary circumstances? Well, guess what? A little rain delay ain't one of them. The EU has your back with something called EC-261. It's basically a superhero cape for stranded travelers. Depending on the circumstances, airlines might owe you up to €600 in cash compensation for cancellations. That's right, cold hard cash. Enough for a whole lot of gelato, my friend. But here's the catch. You gotta know your rights. Don't be afraid to stand your ground and ask those gate agents about EC-261. They might try to play dumb, but trust me, they know what's up. Knowledge is power, people. So, do your research before you fly, bookmark that regulation, and be ready to fight for what you deserve. Now I know what you're thinking, Casey. What about us folks flying in the good old US of A? Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. While we don't have a fancy EU-style law, you still have rights. First things first, check your airline's contract of carriage. It's that super long document nobody reads but should. I'm guilty of it too. It outlines what the airline will do for you in case of cancellations, like offering alternative flights or providing meal vouchers. And here's a pro tip: airlines are often required to book you on another flight, even if it's with a different airline. So, if your original airline is being a pain, don't be afraid to ask about flying with their competition. Remember, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Be polite but persistent, and don't be afraid to ask for what you deserve. Look, I've been traveling the world for years, and let me tell you, the key to smooth sailing is being prepared. Download a flight tracking app, like FlightAware, so you're always a step ahead of the game. These apps can alert you about delays or cancellations even before the airline does. That gives you a head start on finding alternative flights or contacting customer service. And here's a bonus tip. Follow your airline on social media. Seriously, it's like having a direct line to their customer service team. Sometimes they respond faster to DMs than their actual phone lines. So, arm yourself with information, my friends. Because when it comes to flight cancellations, knowledge is power. Alright, so your flight's canceled and you're stuck with option B. Don't sweat it, this is where things get interesting. Sometimes the best way to get where you're going is by thinking outside the box. Or in this case, outside the terminal. First things first, whip out your phone and check out nearby airports. Yeah, you heard me right. A little road trip might be just what the doctor ordered. Plus, smaller airports often have more flight options and fewer delays. And don't forget about trains. Europe, especially, has an amazing rail network that can get you pretty much anywhere. Train travel is way more chill than flying anyway. You can kick back, relax, and enjoy the scenery. Listen, I get it. Cancelled flights are a pain. But sometimes the unexpected detours lead to the best adventures. I'm talking about those stories you'll be telling for years to come. Remember that time I got stranded in Alaska and ended up dog sledding with a pack of huskies? Or that other time when a flight delay led me to the best street food market in Bangkok? Life's too short to stress over things outside your control. So embrace the chaos, my friends. Roll with the punches and see where the journey takes you. You never know what hidden gems you might discover along the way. Look, I know it's frustrating when your travel plans go haywire, but remember, you're on vacation. Don't let a little hiccup ruin your good vibes. Use this time to catch up on that book you've been meaning to read or finally finish that Netflix series you started months ago. Treat yourself to a fancy airport meal, or hit up the airport lounge for some peace and quiet. And hey, if all else fails, there's always the airport bar. Sometimes, a stiff drink is the best medicine for a canceled flight. Just remember to drink responsibly, folks. We don't want any more travel mishaps. Alright, so the airline gods are not smiling on you today. It happens. But listen, stressing won't magically get you a seat on the next flight. It's time to switch gears. Think of it like a layover, just a little longer. First things first, scope out the terminal. Find a corner that's not swarming with stressed out travelers. Maybe there's a lounge area with comfy chairs, or a quiet gate with a charging station. Trust me, those power outlets are about to become your new best friends. Grab a bottle of water and maybe treat yourself to a ridiculously overpriced pastry. Put on your noise-canceling headphones, cue up your favorite playlist, and just breathe. Remember, this delay is just a temporary setback. You'll get to your destination eventually. Okay, so you've secured your base camp. Now it's time to address the boredom situation. Remember that book you've been meaning to start? That podcast series everyone's been raving about? Well, guess what? You've got time. This is your chance to catch up on all those things you've been putting off. Download a few episodes, fire up your e-reader, and get lost in another world. Or, if you're feeling social, strike up a conversation with your fellow stranded passengers. Misery loves company, remember? You might be surprised by the stories you hear, the connections you make. Plus, it's a great way to pass the time and maybe even make a new travel buddy. Just imagine you could be swapping travel horror stories with your new best friend over lukewarm coffee. Who knows, you might even become Facebook friends and document your next adventure together. And hey, if all else fails, there's always the internet. Scroll through your social media feeds, catch up on the news, or finally watch that documentary everyone's been talking about. Just be warned, the airport Wi-Fi might test your patience. But hey, that's all part of the adventure, right? Just think of it as a digital detox, albeit a forced one. Embrace the slow internet speeds, the pixelated videos, the buffering. This is it. This is the real test. Can you remain calm, cool, and collected in the face of adversity? Can you resist the urge to scream into the void, to shake your fist at the sky, to write a strongly worded letter to the airline CEO? This is where true travel mastery comes in. It's not about avoiding delays or cancellations altogether, it's about how you handle them. Remember those breathing exercises you've been meaning to try? Now's the time. Find a quiet corner, close your eyes, and just breathe. Inhale the good vibes, exhale the stress. It might sound cheesy, but trust me, it works. Or if meditation isn't your thing, try to find a distraction. People watch, eavesdrop on conversations, count the number of times someone says delayed or canceled. The point is to shift your focus away from the things you can't control. You can't make the plane arrive any faster, but you can control your reaction to the situation. And trust me, a little bit of patience goes a long way. Remember, this too shall pass. The flight will eventually leave, you'll reach your destination, and this whole ordeal will become just another crazy travel story to tell at parties. And hey, who knows? Maybe you'll even look back on this experience with a newfound appreciation for the unpredictable nature of travel. Okay people, let's talk travel insurance. I know, it's not the most exciting topic, but trust me, when a flight gets canceled, that little insurance card becomes your golden ticket. It's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket. See, most people think travel insurance is only for medical emergencies or lost luggage, but it also covers travel disruptions like canceled flights. Before booking a flight, consider why travel insurance is a must-have. It can reimburse you for non-refundable expenses if your flight gets canceled or delayed. We're talking about hotel rooms, meals, and transportation, all those unexpected costs that can really add up. You're stranded at the airport, starving, exhausted. But wait, you have travel insurance, you file a claim and boom, you're covered. No need to sleep on the airport floor or survive on vending machine snacks. Suddenly that canceled flight doesn't seem so bad, right? But it doesn't stop there. Travel insurance can also cover missed connections, lost or delayed baggage, and even emergency medical expenses. It's basically a safety net for all those unexpected travel hiccups. Now I know what you're thinking, insurance? That sounds complicated and expensive. And yeah, I get it. Insurance policies can be about as much fun to read as a dictionary. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be complicated. There are tons of websites and apps out there that make it super easy to compare different policies and find the one that's right for you. You can even get coverage for a single trip, which is perfect for those spontaneous weekend getaways. The key is to do your research before you travel, not after your flight gets canceled. Trust me, the last thing you want to be doing in a stressful situation is trying to decipher insurance jargon. Take some time to read the fine print, understand what's covered and what's not, and make sure you're comfortable with the level of coverage. And hey, if you're not sure about something, don't be afraid to ask questions. Call the insurance company, talk to a representative, do whatever it takes to make sure you understand exactly what you're getting yourself into. Remember, knowledge is power. And when it comes to travel insurance, being informed can save you a whole lot of hassle and money in the long run. So do yourself a favor and get that insurance sorted. Alright, so you've got your travel insurance. You're officially prepared for anything. But how do you actually use it when the unexpected happens? It's easier than you think. Keep all your documentation handy. That means your insurance policy, flight itinerary, and receipts. Contact your insurance company. They have 24/7 hotlines or online portals, provide detailed information including flight details and expenses, follow up if you haven't heard back. Travel insurance is there to protect you. It's like having a backup plan for your backup plan. And there you have it, folks. Canceled flights might be a pain, but with these tips, you're officially in the cool, calm, collected traveler club. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the skies, eventually.